everybody. This is Lisa for Body Soul Training. Welcome back to our show, The Inner Life of Fitness, where we share inspiring stories to help ignite your inner and outer strength. So I'm very excited about this young lady today, our special guest. I've known her since the day she's born. I am just so inspired by her energy, her passion, and her positive outlook on life and her desire to want to help others. So welcome to the show, Lily Amorosino.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everybody. So happy to be here today.
Oh, we're beyond excited to have you. We're going to get into, I like to let our viewers know about who my guest is and give them a little background. So you're a recent graduate from Norwell High School, right? Mm-hmm. Where you're the co-president of the school, and you gave an amazing speech. I have to say, I listened to it, and you're just so well poised. And I don't mean this insultingly, but I think people think that anybody young adult, they just don't have the experience. But you know, in your speech, you just sounded seasoned. You sounded flawless. You made it look effortless and easy. And I know, being in the field of public speaking, it's challenging. So you have a gift, and the world is so lucky, and that they're going to have you for future. And we'll get into the stories of what you're doing. So you're also an athlete. You play lacrosse. You love skiing.
Yeah.
Playing lacrosse. You're still playing lacrosse?
I am right now. So tomorrow is the seeding meeting that we will be receiving our tournament schedule. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, let's go back to that lacrosse picture, Ed, if we can. Yeah. So what position do you play in lacrosse, and like what do you love about it?
Yeah. So I've played lacrosse since I was a kindergartner. When I got into middle school, I got into club lacrosse. I played for Massachusetts up through high school. And for high school, I play midfield. I love playing all sides of the ball. It's really fun getting minutes out there. This year has definitely been a huge developmental year for myself and my team after not having a season last spring due to COVID. It definitely put a wrench in my lacrosse journey, but I'm so glad that we have the opportunity to be back here playing, and we're going to have a real tournament, which is really special. We didn't think we would. So lacrosse, also just being out there with a group of girls working toward a common goal, with everybody throwing their passion together and supporting each other, is something that I really hold dear to my heart about lacrosse.
That's incredible. Now you're going to be going to study at George Washington University.
Yeah.
Where you're going to be you're looking to become a functional medical doctor, which is so neat. And I want to talk about that, but I also want to let people know that, you know, you have this huge passion for your friends, for your family, and you love sharing your passion. And you mentioned about during COVID. So, you know, we love for you to hear more about your journey and your outlook on life. You know, would you share a little bit about, you know, why you chose functional medicine?
Of course. So ever since I've probably since 6th grade, having 2 physical therapists as parents, I've been passionate about my health and well-being and staying active. So that background has kind of led me into working out on my own and pursuing fitness. And during COVID, when sports were on hold and we weren't really sure what the next couple of weeks, months were going to look like, I decided I would go onto Instagram and make a little account called Let's Go by Lil and post workouts and healthy recipes and inspiring quotes and messages and stuff on my feed. Yeah, there it is. And the other thing that I did was I utilized the live stream Instagram feature, and I would put together playlists with fun music and put different circuits for workouts, and I would stream it live and like kind of teach the class amateurly to my friends. And I kept it kind of small for a while, and I'm hoping to grow the page when I go off to college in the summer, to spread it to even more young girls, trying to find a group of girls together working toward health and well-being. Yeah.
So what, during COVID, it happened to hit. I know how it affected me. But here you are, you're 17 at that time. I know now you're
Mhm.
18. And okay, COVID hit, your life changed, you were impacted, but yet Lily says, no, I need to help inspire others. Where did that come from? And like I said, and I keep saying this, and when you get my age, you'll realize how impressive you are.
Mhm.
So COVID came and you said, no, I'm going to help inspire others instead of just trying to take care of myself. Like, where did that come from?
Well, I can definitely say it comes from my journey with lacrosse.
Okay.
And not only does it come from how my lacrosse team values support of one another, but also my role models on the larger scale. There's a young woman now named Alex Oss. She played for the USA national team, and I actually met her one year, I think when I was a freshman in high school. And she kind of took her platform as a lacrosse player on a larger scale and grew it into live workouts on Instagram and inspiring girls that are trying to make it in the lacrosse world. So she's a little bit older, so I thought like, oh, well, maybe I can do that as a peer to girls more my age, and it's more of a community together. We're doing it together. I'm right there with them. So that's kind of where I got my inspiration to make the account and push my peers forward.
That's incredible. You have no idea, but one person can make a difference. And that's why I'm doing this show, The Inner Life of Fitness, to help share stories and for people to be inspired. And your story is one of them. I mean, being, 17, 18, COVID hit, you're like, no, I'm going to help others. But then you also, not just exercising, you also said, no, let me teach people how to cook. Now I'm a firm believer in that. Right. There's the exercise for the mind and the body, but food is important too. So tell me a little bit about your healthy cooking and why you decided to toss that into it.
Yeah, I mean, my mom has always been a great cook. I've been lucky to be blessed with all of her cooking. Same with my dad, but I think Instagram, I have to give it credit because there's a woman named Earthy Andy. She lives on Hawaii with her family, and she just came out with a cookbook this year, and it's plant-based eating. And so I'm not strict with any dietary restrictions or anything, but I love to explore different options. So she has all of these bowls with rice and vegetables and sauteed tofu, like you can see there, avocado, and then the smoothies. So I followed her Instagram and all of her recipes, and now her book. I've been able to draw off of her and her inspiration for that, I guess, and kind of put my own spin on it.
So you give Instagram credit, but what do you get out of the food? And did you eat bad? Like, I know your mom's cooking; it is amazing. But what made you to decide to go healthy? Were you eating unhealthy? Do you have any gluten allergies, or is it you just feel better eating healthy and then you want to give it to others?
Yeah, that's just it. I didn't really come from any issues necessarily like in the kitchen. I always have loved eating fresh and fresh fruit. I'm always telling my mom, please get avocados and like fresh fruit for smoothies and stuff. Probably since seventh, eighth grade, I've loved to cook like that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful it is to have a nourishing meal from right from the earth because um, it makes your whole body feel better and mind better. And I think become more in tune with my eating as I've focused more on my fitness because after I eat, I have to replenish. I mean, after I work out, I have to replenish what I just burned off. So that's where the protein smoothies and stuff like that comes in.
So let's talk about, and I agree. You are what you eat, and I love that you said eat from the earth.
Mhm.
It's awesome and it's so cool. I mean, you're so young giving these recipes. And can we put up her Instagram page again? And I mean, I'm going to mention this throughout our talking today because, I actually, I've known you for a long time, but what turned me on to want to have you on my show is your Instagram page. I was just impressed, just like your speech that you spoke in. How many people graduated in your class?
There was 164 graduates.
Yeah. I mean, you got up there, you were just like, it gave me goosebumps and it made me tear up. And your Instagram page, and you're only going to get better and better and better and better. So I am just so happy to have you on my show early because you're probably going to write a book someday. You're going to help so many people someday. And don't forget me when you become Instagram famous. That's all I'm saying, right?
Oh, I won't. Never.
But yeah, the recipes you post, the workouts, the free content, you put yourself out there. And I'm just letting people know to follow Let's Go by Lil. Again, that's why I invited you on my show. But you and I talked a little bit before we got on the show, and I was also impressed. You want to you don't want to just be a doctor. And this is a dialogue you and I talked when you had a little vacation in Florida. And I just kept going. I remember going, wow, really? Wow, really? So what, you don't want to just be a doctor. You want to be, you want to be a functional medicine doctor. Why? And tell us about what is a functional medicine doctor?
Right. Yeah. Thank you. So functional medicine is a growing field. Maybe some of you haven't even really heard of the term before, but functional medicine really bridges conventional, traditional ways in the hospitals with more a holistic view. And my inspiration for this choice, career path, I guess, was I've been working with a woman named Trish Hart for a while, and she does therapeutic yoga and stress management therapy, and she uses the neuroscience behind the mind-body connection to help people case by case, and that's awesome. I love everything she does, and she does it all backed on science. And so taking from her career path and also my passion to be a doctor, I wanted to put those two together, and that's what functional medicine kind of is. And the main component about functional medicine is also taking each patient for themselves, that individual. And it's not just like the conventional way of saying, okay, you have this diagnosis and we're going to give you this treatment like we do for all the other people with that same illness.
Yeah.
I want to look more into, okay, what's going on, mind, body, gut health, and figure out what I could do to help the individual in front of me who might not have an answer.
That's incredible. I am a huge believer in that. And when we talked, I said to you, that's amazing. That's what we need, because you go to a doctor and the first things and I don't want to down all the doctors, just like I feel like the fitness professionals don't get the respect sometimes. I do respect doctors in their mindset, but I think there's just so much more than just throwing out pills. Right. Let's try to find, maybe you said gut health, let's dig deeper into the why. Why are you feeling this way? What's causing this? And knowing the whole body and understanding their history and the holistic approach. Like, let's try it holistically before we get you on these meds that people are stuck on meds. And then you need another med to counterbalance this med and then this med. And I'm sure, being a functional medicine doctor, you're going to be a big promoter for exercise.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes everything. It's not just the meds. I mean, there are definitely diagnoses where you need to have medication, but it's not just that. It's what you're eating. It's how you're moving, how you're living. Yeah. And it's not just one or the other. It can't just be the exercise and what's in the kitchen. It's a combination of everything, and that's what functional medicine really looks at. So
how do you at age 18 And I don't mean, again, I'm not being disrespectful. It's a huge compliment. Have you had bad times? How do you keep a healthy mindset? And what's your secret behind your healthy mindset?
I mean, having a healthy mindset for me comes from being more independent, I would say. When I have struggled with friendships and school, socially, something that always gave me an escape was exercise and getting outside, going for a run, bike ride, maybe take one of my friends, my sister, my brother, my mom, my dad, anybody who's close to me, and just moving together. That has really carried me through, because there have definitely been times with school and working so hard and trying to. I definitely put a lot of pressure on on myself sometimes, um, in school to be X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
and exercise and fitness and eating healthy has been kind of my own thing that has helped me just move past anything that's going on and just do my own thing, make myself feel good,
Yeah.
and then sharing that with others and seeing how it can make them feel better too.
That's so inspiring. I mean, I drink the Kool-Aid, and you're going to laugh. You're going to be like, stop mentioning my age. But I am so excited that you came on today and you agreed to share your story and to put yourself out there and be raw. What is in the future? I know, you're going to George Washington University, but what are your future visions with your Instagram page? Let's say you ever go through a job interview and you hear, well, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years?
Right.
What's Lily's goals? Like, what's your future vision?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely fortunate to kind of have an idea of what I want to do for work when I'm older. And I think this is just the beginning. I mean, my Instagram page is small right now, and that's okay. I have this summer and going into college to grow it. I definitely do think, because social media is ever so expansive right now, that I can definitely make a difference in the lives of girls my age, as I grow older, and making more posts and kind of just building up content. And then there's always making it on the Instagram, on the social media for a job. A lot of people do it for their jobs, but I think it would just be a fun little side for me, as I go through college and connect with more people.
Yeah.
But I mean, seeing myself in 5 years, I think I would probably be in it, hopefully applying to medical schools
Mhm.
and working towards that functional medicine career. Mhm.
So wouldn't it be cool? You're going to be a functional medicine doctor. We know it's going to happen. I know it is. You're a go-getter. But I love the fact when you said, when I have hard times, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. And with
Mhm.
that, comes, I'm sure, ups and downs. But,
Yeah.
you put yourself out there and say, well, yeah, I have tough times. This is what I do. And that probably changes, right? So, you surround yourself with positive people, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out is what I'm hearing. If
Mhm.
you're having a tough time. And I'm also hearing that it's you that has to do the work, right? It's you that has to put in the work and try to find, what is going to help you out of it. And for you is exercise as well. That's a huge a huge piece. But what advice? I mean, I'm hearing that you want to be a positive impact in this world, right? Through function in medicine, helping all ages. But it sounds like you have a passion for women and young women to help them. Um,
Mhm.
why? Where did that come from? And have you had friends that have struggled, or uh, you know what creates that niche?
Yeah, I think women in sports. I keep coming back to lacrosse, but I've coached young girls, young lacrosse athletes, um, in lacrosse for years, probably since I was a freshman in high school, and I've seen them grow. Actually, last night was my some of the girls that I coached this spring. It was their last lacrosse game, fifth graders, and I was on the sidelines helping them helping them out. And it was just so special to see young girls working so hard together. And I know that they have goals for themselves. And I know I, as an 18-year-old, have goals for myself. And I think helping other people, seeing how I've helped those girls grow confidence on the field and play their hardest, that is very inspiring and motivating for me to just keep going, keep helping other girls, even my age and younger. I think that's
okay. So I didn't realize that on top of everything else that you're very involved in, and being a president, now that you graduated, being a president in high school, that had a lot. Academics had a lot, playing lacrosse, but you also found time to coach younger kids.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That is so cool. Before we leave today, what advice or what would you like to leave our listeners with? What's a quote that you use, or an inspiring quote? What would you like to?
Yeah, there is a quote I do live by: inhale confidence and exhale doubt. And confidence, as a young girl, as anyone, goes a long way. And it doesn't just appear out of thin air. You need people to support you to build that confidence. And you can be a confidence booster for someone else too. So never forget that.
That's incredible. You're awesome. I am so excited to see where Lily's going to go. And listen, I want to be your first patient. So when you become that doctor, I want a functional medicine doctor, and I can't think of anybody better. So when you do become that doctor, I'm just saying, I want to be your first patient.
You got it.
All right. Well, Lily, thank you so much for joining us today on The Inner Life of Fitness. And thank you for sharing your story. And to our listeners, please, please, please check her out. You want to just have a smile on your face, maybe get a good recipe, learn a new fitness routine. Would you take personal messages if people needed advice or something, or just a hello? You would take a message? Yeah,
of course. I do. That's what I do.
Instagram, let's go by Lil. Let's go by Lil, baby. So thank you for joining us today, Lily. We really, and in sharing your stories. We wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I know you're going to be successful. So thank you for making a difference in our lives.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Keep doing what you're doing, okay? Well, thank you, my listeners. Let's see, Susan Greenhouse, I'll be the second patient after me. Lily, you got another patient coming. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And I hope you enjoyed our young, amazing woman, Lily Amorosino, and her journey. And, she definitely restores the faith of our young generations that we're going to be fine. And we're going to have people like her taking care of us. So tune in next week. Our guest next week is Baba Shiner. She's a 90-year-old powerhouse who's strong both physically and mentally. And her story is interesting. Her story goes back to New York roots, where she actually was a protester, and she fought and still fights today for equal rights, women's rights, the underdog, right? And she actually still she was arrested by the Rochester Police Department and still has a record for protesting. So I hope you join us next week to hear her inspiring story. This is Lisa. If you have an inspiring story, please email me, lisa@bodysoultraining.com. We'd love to share it if it's going to help inspire someone else, help us spread the beautiful rainbow. So to remember to take it one day at a time, move more, drink more water, and take it one day at a time. Life is short. So we'll see you next week on The Inner Life of Fitness, everybody. Take care. Have a great day.